Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ronald J. Abdow Field here on the campus of American International College for today's Northeast 10 Conference Football Contest featuring the visiting Bentley Falcons and your AIC Yellow Jackets. Anthony, this should be a good one. We got two teams that are going 3-0 coming into this game. What are you expecting out of the Falcons and the Yellow Jackets today?
Well, all I've been hearing about since I've been back is that, and it's good to be back, by the way, is that how a lot of AIC's key pieces have improved. Can't wait to see it on the field.
We'll dive right into the lineups, and we'll start with the defenses. First for Bentley. Anthony, you've got the Falcon defense for us.
I do indeed. Starting with the defensive line, we have Steven Polino, Ethan Stewart, Herv Tishimbamba, and C.D. Dashiel II. The linebacking core is Cole McCubry, Salvador Lupoli Jr., and Manny Resto. And your secondary for the Falcons is Jalen Branch, Matt Severance, Aaron Racky, and Joey Hauschon.
On the AIC side, it's defensive end Isaiah Tolbert working the left with Kurt Lassiter, Latrell Hollis in the middle, and Trevor Catlin on the other side. The linebackers, Terrell Wallace, Fabian Thames will be on the outside, and Jason Thompson will be in the middle in AIC's 4-3 defense. Your secondary is Kyle Jackson and Xavier Torres on the corners, and Ratty Rojas Portilla and Keith Jackson will play safeties. Now for the offenses, and both of these teams are explosive, Anthony. We've seen Bentley score 40 points twice this year. The Yellow Jackets obviously hung 40 on pace, and then were able to put up a bunch more points against the Franklin Pierce Ravens last week. Let's get the Bentley offense going.
I gotcha. Quarterback, we're starting with the quarterback here. We got Steven Sturm. He is back. The tailback is Nathaniel Larkins. We have Josh Martin, who's listed as a tight end. Your three receivers are Noah Neville, Austin Ryan, and Tashawn Fasser. And your offensive line from left to right is Dom DePaoli, Charlie Tordick, there we go, Sean Mitchell, Lucas DeBettencourt, and Gavin Olson.
Yellow Jackets offensive line left to right will be Daniel Tompkins and Jared Durand, with Julian McIntosh in the middle, Alexei Aluvo and David Brown on the right side. Receiver core, Faison Carney, Kobe Miranda, and Jaheim McGuire will be out there to start. Gates Kelleher, the fullback, Samad Davila, the running back. For quarterback, Jason DeMild, who is the reigning NE10 Offensive Player of the Week. He threw for 4 touchdowns for the second week in a row. He's thrown for 8 touchdowns in the last 2 games, helping lead AIC to that comeback win over Pace. The team was down 26-6 with 17 minutes left and won 40-33. And then although they gave up the first touchdown to Franklin Pierce, they really dominated most of that game, put up a ton of points. These are two high-powered offenses that like to move the ball in big chunks through the air. So for these two defenses that have given up some points, how do they slow down the attack?
This game might come down to which defense can make one more play than the other side. Jason DeMille is obviously off to a very hot start. Bentley, I expect them to bring a lot of pressure early and see if they can disrupt that rhythm, because you can't score points if you can't get the ball out, and I would expect something similar on the other side.
We'll take a break here on the NE10 Now Network and AIC Yellow Jackets TV. We'll have some football for you in a few.
Some of your own jokes, see how you like it. I didn't see that name at first, so I kind of fumbled it. No pun intended. Oh, I always come back to a name I don't get right away, so. We all remember the Lemoyne game with India. I cannot figure that out to save my life, and I couldn't stand it on the pronunciation guide.
That's why I usually will talk, not for football as much, because
probably something I would have thought of, but just kind of been busy, so I kind of lost track of time. Next time, though. Sounds like they're happy to have their team back.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the north end zone. Entering the field, your AIC Yellow Jackets.
Beginning to feel a lot like football season. Are we going to go at the coin toss or are we going to wait after?
We'll go once it's clear who was one toss. I'll take us back in.
Fans, we draw your attention to midfield for today's coin toss. What's the call? Tails is the call. It's not a call with the football, it's the tail. Tails is the call. AIC is what? AIC won the toss and they will defer to the second half.
Ready's all ever, dude.
Welcome back to Ronald J. Abdow Field here on the campus of American International College. You've just seen the coin toss. The captain's shaking hands right now, and the Yellow Jackets get the first dub of the game. They win the toss. They elect to defer, as teams usually do. So AIC will kick off to the Bentley Falcons. The Yellow Jackets, of course, in the home blacks, trimmed in white and a little bit of gold. Bentley in the road whites, trimmed in blue with the numbers on the front and the back, and the navy blue helmets. Bentley, of course, has changed its colors from the light blue to the navy blue of several years ago at this point. We'll take a break real quick for the national anthem, and then when we come back, for the first time in 2 years, it's football. I can. Back here at the booth and at Patova, or at the Ronald J. Abdow Field next to the Henry Patova Gymnasium.
You know where we are?
Springfield, Massachusetts. It's about as far as I've gotten. I apparently need to download another coffee. It's fine. It's the first football game in 2 years. There's going to be some jitters. And it is a big day here at AIC. A lot of games today, and not only football, but volleyball hosting Stonehill at 6 o'clock, and men's soccer hosting these same Bentley Falcons. I'll tell you what, the men's soccer team, Anthony, I'm going to take a second to talk about that, because 5-0-1 to start the year. They just knocked off the number 19 team in the country, Lemoyne. That's a team that's never been nationally ranked, but a win tonight should get them into the top 25.
Very good.
We know the field hockey team is number 9 in the country. Men's cross country is number 21 in the country right now. The football team's receiving votes. Men's soccer is receiving votes. It's been a great start to the year, Anthony, for everybody.
Absolutely.
And what you were a college student not too long ago. It's been a little while. What does it mean when everybody's doing so well for a campus?
It can bring a campus to life. It really can. Especially if there's a lot of school spirit to begin with. This can accelerate it, and we're getting ready for kickoff, and I can't wait.
Well, the kickoff will be AIC going left to right as you look at your computer screen. Bentley right to left, obviously. Anthony's going to take over on the play-by-play, so my friend, it's all you. Have fun, sir.
Good to be back.
Good to have you back, man.
As we mentioned, Bentley will receive. Hamill will send it away. Let's have some fun. Off we go. Welcome back to football, everybody. A gang of AIC tacklers on the return. On the returner, I should say.
I was going to say, just received right at the end zone line and up to the 25, so not a bad return for Bentley, in decent field position to start, 75 yards from where they are to the end zone. And Anthony will get a good look at what Steven Sturm and this Falcons offense can do on its first drive.
Absolutely. This is a rivalry game. We can't forget to mention that. So there's a lot of high expectations from both sides in this game. So Bentley's going to get us started. It's a handoff and a decent first carry for Nathaniel Larkins.
Yeah, kind of the fake of the fake is a delayed handoff from Sturm to Larkins, and it ends up being a gain of about 8.5. Sets up a short second down.
You'll see a lot of that, kind of trying to get a read on the defense, run pass options, read options of that nature. Very popular in the college game. Tight end will go in motion here for Bentley.
They've got stacked receivers on the near side.
It's another handoff for Larkins, and it looks like he got enough for the first down.
You could kind of tell that they were going to go to the right, the way that they had the two receivers kind of stack on top of each other, and then the tight end came to the right side. And it was a tell. I mean, the Yellow Jackets were able to stop it to just a 3-yard gain, but on 2nd and 2, that means the sticks move, and it's a new set of downs.
We'll see what they do here. They'll stack it again, trying to give the same look. Potential misdirection opportunity here for the Bentley offense.
Jackets are blitzing here.
Sprint out left, and it's an incomplete pass. The intended receiver was, I believe that's 83. And that is
Zay Desaias. Yeah, he overthrew him. Sturm just got underneath that ball a little too much. Desaias couldn't quite reach out to it. It's a good play. He was open in the flat, just overthrown a little bit. But again, you shift everybody to the right, and then you double up on the left, and it's kind of hard to cover everyone there without potentially giving up the big run. So a good fake by Bentley, just the execution not quite there.
One major con with that play is that you really only have one read, and if it gets picked off, it's a tough day for you, as Larkins gets another handoff here. An AIC defense trying to swarm him, and Larkins is just showing his stuff in the early going.
You had 4 different defenders who had hands on him and couldn't bring him down, and a gain of 11 that should have been maybe a gain of 1. That's going to drive Coach Kulzer up a wall.
I would imagine so.
You can't do that. You can't have guys miss tackles, going for the arm tackles like that. You got to wrap the guy up right away, and I'm sure I can already see the notes being taken in the booth to our right where some of the AIC coaches are. So,
a relief for AIC, at least for the moment it would appear, because Larkins has come up to take a little bit of a break.
Bentley's got some depth at the running back position, though, so it may not be much of a break for the defense.
We shall see. Looks like it's actually a receiver getting the handoff out of the backfield, and a really good job there. That is Desaias again.
Yeah, that Bentley really does that very well, mixing up the looks, and they set trips on the far side right, and then went through the hole between the guard and the tackle on the right side after AIC had committed to the pass. This is what Bentley's offense can do. Moving the field pretty well.
Just a basic inside zone read could turn into something not so easy to defend.
37 yards on 4 carries, Anthony, an average of almost 10 yards a rush.
That's not good.
That's not going to cut it.
Larkins is back in a double shift now. two blockers move over to the wing.
Larkins on the carry.
Larkins doesn't get much on that one.
Yeah, really well done that time at the line. Even though they were a little confused and still moving at the snap defensively, the Yellow Jackets had just the box stacked. I think they recognized Bentley was going to run it again that time and able to hold Larkins to 3. And Hollison on the tackle.
Larkins' build kind of reminds me of Jonathan Stewart, who played with the Panthers for quite a few years. Kind of a similar build there.
Yeah, the stocky, solid. It's kind of a traditional running back look at this point.
Definitely.
You don't see a lot of lanky running backs.
This time it's play action. Sturm keeps it, runs, he's got some legs. He's going to try to get out of bounds, and he does for the first down and a bit more.
Yeah, good juke by him at the line to beat the defender who was on him, and then he had some space and took it. Really, just field vision for the quarterback is so important and able to make a good play to get the first down.
So AIC's defense not really sure what hit them potentially, because Bentley's marching up and down the field like they own it.
Like we said, we knew this Bentley offense was good, and this is going to happen a couple of times today. No matter what you do, it's just a matter, like you said, of our offense doing the same thing.
Quick, and it looked like that was dropped, and it was. The pass was intended for Jake Bedell.
Yeah, he got a hand on it, but I think he's got to come down with that ball. It was a quick play. It's a design play. You can tell when they have the snap throw like that. He was in the right place, just didn't get the body behind the ball, and really only the one hand. You got to wrap that up and make the catch, because if he catches that, he's got an angle right to the sideline for another first down, but instead it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, those quick swings can be a little tricky sometimes, because it is a rocket ball coming out of the quarterback. Pistol look here. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted! AIC has the first turnover of the game. I didn't get a good look of who caught it, but I don't think anybody cares right now, because that is a turnover, and that's what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that's the first mistake Bentley's made, and Terrell Wallace punishes them for it. Is Sturm just did not look up when he threw that ball. He turned to his right and just slung it, and the only man there was Wallace. So all of the marching down the field for the Bentley offense comes to nothing because of one mistake, and that's what AIC's defense can do. They pounce on those mistakes. We saw it against Pace. We saw it against Franklin Pierce. You screw up, they will make you pay. And that time, Terrell Wallace, again, the interception. He had the interception that ended the game at Pace, and now comes down with a big one that gives AIC the opportunity to score first.
Now DeMille comes in at quarterback. A lot of people are excited about his development. Play fake. Hits over, caught by McGuire. Looks like he's just short of the sticks.
Still a good play, a design play right to the sideline, open look, 8 or 9 yard gain. It's exactly what you want, especially on the first play for your offense. Just something simple to get some yards and get yourself feeling good. And now you set yourself up 2nd and short, and you have lots of options. You can run the ball with Davila. You got the 2 wide receivers on either side, and the whole field is open now.
2nd and 2. I would personally expect a Samad Davila carry, but we'll see if I'm right. Play fake again. Caught. Kobe Miranda, and actually he's juggled and dropped. Looked like he had it for a split second, and then...
Credit Aaron Racky right there with swatting it out of his hand, because that was a first down and then some, and Racky just poked the ball out from underneath as Miranda couldn't quite get a grip on it, and that is great defense in the end, even though it was an open man and it should have been a completion, but sometimes desperation is what you need the most, and that time they got it.
Interesting look here. Kobe Miranda in the backfield. He's also listed as a running back, a receiver / running back.
I bet you he's in to block for Davila.
I bet you're right. No, it's a read option sort of play, and I'm not sure DeMiles got it. I think it's close.
They're going to give it to him by the look of it, because of where the referees set up. They gave him the full forward progress of his dive, and AIC does get the first down. But you're right. I mean, it's an interesting thing for DeMille to call his own number in that situation with the 2 men in behind him, and then dive for the line, but the big man able to get it done.
That also could have been, we might see that later, as an option look sort of thing, like a stand-up triple option, if you will. They go 2 back here. Some refer to it as the pony, as Kobe Miranda, and they'll then shift out, make the defense declare. And I thought I just saw a flinch on the defensive line, but they did not call it. And DeMille coming out firing, and this time it is caught. That looks like Kobe Miranda. He's still on his feet. They're trying to bring him down. They finally do, but not after a considerable gain.
That was the same play as 2 plays ago, and DeMild hits Miranda in that soft spot in the defense, and this time he held onto the ball and then dragged 5 Falcons with him. Another 10 yards and a huge gain for the Yellow Jackets. It's about 18 or 19 yards total. A lot of it after contact and after the catch. Jacoby Miranda takes more than one man to take him down.
They're going a little up-tempo here. A lot of passes. And look at this. Got something brewing here. That is number 85. That is Jackson Ramsey. And that sets up what I believe will be a first and goal.
It's just shy of the 10, so it's 1st and 10 on the 11, but a 15-yard gain. And Anthony, just a swing pass, a design play. The receivers are all in to block. There was only one man that was ever going to go to. The Yellow Jackets had the one-on-ones on the outside and took advantage of it, able to get the space. Now Bentley's really got to tighten up as the Yellow Jackets are pounding on the door.
Wolf is, in fact, at the door. Do we see a handoff to switch it up? We do. DeMiles trying to groove. He is close, but no cigar just yet.
Still, it's a gain of 6 and down to the 5-yard line. And Davila had enough defenders fooled with DeMild faking that. It was a really well-executed play fake, and you see the Yellow Jackets able to penetrate the middle of the defense to set up 2nd and 4. And again, don't forget, they can get the first down at the 1, too, so this potentially really opens things up for AIC.
But don't forget, we just saw at the other end, if defense make a play.
Yeah, it only takes 1.
Pistol look again, appears to be Davila again. Option. Read well by the Bentley defense, and DeMiles is taken down.
Yeah, dragged back to the 9-yard line, and that time Bentley knew it was going to be a run play. I think the Yellow Jackets sort of telegraphed it a little bit, and they were able to stack the box and break through the O-line. Sets up 3rd and 8, which is not insurmountable, obviously. We've seen the Yellow Jackets make some moves. Spreading out the defense a little bit could be helpful here, actually, being back further, because the passing options, you have some more space to work with. So we could see them go to the outside for Miranda again, who does have a safety on him one-on-one.
That could be a mismatch. He's going to the middle of the field. They go flipped over to Davila. He's trying to get in. He's fighting for it, and I think he's going to be just short.
Gets back to about the 4, so it's 4th and 2, and this is question time for Coach Kulzer. Do you kick the field goal or do you go for it?
I would consider going for sure.
And I think that's what they're going to do. It doesn't look like the kicking unit is coming on or even warming up. So, Anthony, you talked about the defense needing to make one play. They got to make one here. They got to stop the Yellow Jackets from getting to the 1. AIC, no pretenses of kicking a field goal here. They are straight up going for it.
In a very quick moving first quarter.
I love it, though. I love this call by Coach Kulzer. Let's go for it. Even if you don't get it, like, you've set such a tone of how you're going to play.
2 men out of the backfield. DeMiles is going to try to run. This looks like it's not going to end well, and it does not.
Yeah, nobody got open there. Bentley's defense just swallows it up, and the Falcons get the stop. So it is scoreless. I don't hate it, but credit Bentley for making the, as you said, making the play at the end. And now the good thing, if you're AIC, is this: Bentley's on its own 4.
Right. And in a situation like this, something I always yell at the TV screen when defenses are in the situation: blitz and try to get a safety. Dial up your best pressure play.
Yeah, goal line offense. People tend to think of goal line offense as, of course, you're pushing for the score, but this is a goal line offense situation too, because if you give up a sack or you give up a run for a loss,
or
as
a
you said, you're in the end zone. It's 2 points and you lose the ball. So
and a penalty
you can see the stacked offensive line here for Bentley.
Well, Larkin's going to go ahead and give him some breathing room. Probably should have seen that coming.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times teams will just run the ball in a situation like this. You don't want to risk it. But you saw that they had 7 on the line, and AIC had 8 in the box. Everybody knew what was coming, and Larkin made a good play chugging the legs. He's tough to bring down. Gain of about 5.
Having a very good start.
He certainly has.
Your typical power back, and he's looking like one as well. They do the double motion again with the 2 blockers. And another handoff to Larkin. Not as good as a carry, but still it was 2nd and 5. Even if you get 2 or 3, that's a pretty good way to get to your goal of advancing the ball.
Yep, 3rd down and 3 is obviously not insurmountable. And in this situation with a running back like this, I think you keep pounding the ball. He has, after all, averaged 3.5 on this drive, so that should get you a first down if he can get it to the 15.
Do they keep riding him, or they try to keep AIC off guard?
I don't think you can take too many risks this deep in your own end, and I think the run play is the right decision. I think that's what we're going to see.
It is the correct guess by Seth Dussault again.
And I think he's short.
I believe he is also.
He didn't get quite. He got to the 13. So 4th down, and Bentley's going to have to punt.
Yeah, you really can't risk going for it here.
No.
This is not Madden.
No. Not at all. Much as you'd love to see it in the terms of how wild that would be, I mean, there is such a thing as trying too hard. And,
Indeed.
And if you're Bentley here, you make the smart play and you punt it away. You try a hard snap count to see if you can draw AIC offside. And if you're the Yellow Jackets, I think you just have to play smart here and not worry about pushing too hard.
High punt. That touched a Bentley player.
Kick catch interference just got called, so the Yellow Jackets are not only going to get the ball at the 42 or the 43 where it would have been fielded, they're going to get 15 yards, which should put them at the 28 of Bentley to start as the flag goes down. Yeah, I mean, you saw the AIC player calling for the fair catch. I believe that was Ratty Rojas Portilla, and they didn't allow him to make the catch. You have to let him catch the ball or attempt to.
Right.
It hit the Bentley player in front, so the kick catch interference penalty is going to give AIC some yardage.
Yeah, at first it seemed like, from my point of view, it may have been like a late fair catch, but nonetheless, it kind of came in at the last minute, and Bentley got the penalty.
So it's from the spot of the foul, which is actually the 45. The flag was initially at the 43. They moved it back to. But still, if you're starting on the other team's 30, that's probably not good for the defense.
I would concur.
You know, AIC has taken a lot of penalties this year, and this time it's Bentley. That's the first penalty of the game for either team, and it is potentially a mammoth one.
Just get a feeling that Bentley might want to bring a little bit of heat here. Handoff, Davila. Davila in open space. Gets down to a little past the 20.
What really made that play work, Anthony, was you had the one wide receiver on the left come in motion and at the snap cut up the field as an extra blocker, and that took away a linebacker that would have been able to fill a hole, and instead Davila had daylight. Great work by the offensive line, who doesn't get enough credit ever, regardless of what team it is. That time, they made that play work to perfection, and AIC gains 14 yards as a result.
A little similar CFL kind of motion that you don't really see that as much here because the rules don't allow, but kind of similar in nature. Another handoff here to Davila. And Bentley wanted him to know for sure that he wasn't going anywhere.
He gained a couple, and they shoved him down. Basically, the referees had blown the whistle. It was clear that forward progress had been stopped, and they kept going a little bit. Not long enough after the whistle for it to be a late hit, but like you said, they wanted him to know, and you got to finish the play right through the whistle, and you can't fault Bentley for that, but AIC certainly has to take a number and take a little bit of memory of that and bring it their way too.
2nd and 8. Coming up on the 3-minute mark. Quick pass. Caught. First down, and it is a touchdown.
That's a tremendous play by Tommy Smith to just elude the tacklers long enough to fall down over the line. And great recognition on the play fake by DeMild, and then hits the man in space. That's another one that's a design play. It was only ever going to one man, and there was that hole in the middle. We've seen DeMild hit different receivers in that spot a couple of times now. Bentley's got to resolve that, or the Yellow Jackets are going to score a lot of points today.
Definitely.
But AIC does get the first touchdown. The defense has been brilliant in this first quarter.
And DeMile's going to stay on to hold. And the kick is good.
So that penalty does hurt. But and that's all set up. I go back to what I said. Even if you don't get it on that 4th down, I think it's the right decision. And because Bentley was pinned so back deep in their own territory, it took a lot of plays out of their playbook, which in turn made the defensive job easier for AIC, which in turn led to that punt, and then you get the penalty, and you get 4 plays into your end zone for a touchdown. It's all set up by the decision-making of Chris Kulzer.
And for Bentley's sake, it was a series of unfortunate events, and it came back to bite them this time.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets certainly taking advantage, and it's what we've talked about, taking advantage of mistakes. The interception when Bentley was driving, then the decision making, the penalty. It's good football, and it starts with the coaching staff. And of course the players executing as well. You obviously don't want to take away from the guys who have to do the job, but that's leadership, and that starts from the top down.
Definitely.
Number 4, Eagle Oak. And number 10,
Little fake off there.
I was gonna say, do you pull an onside kick right now? I feel like
I
that's
don't think you do.
probably not a thing that's actually going to happen, but it never hurts to mess with the other team's head.
Return man gets backed up a few steps. He's trying to make a play here, and he is down right away.
Yeah, AIC got up the field very well there, keeping Bentley at their own 16 to start the drive. Think about this, Anthony. AIC's drives have started at their 37 and Bentley's 30. Bentley's drives have started at their 25, their 4, and their 16. It's a huge difference.
Yep. But it's still very early.
Oh, yeah, this is hardly decided. If Bentley can go down the field the way they did in the first drive without the mistake at the end.
Fumbled snap, speaking of mistakes.
Oh, my.
And a bevy of humanity underneath.
Well, that would have been a complete disaster for the Falcons if the Yellow Jackets had gotten the ball on the 10. As it is, you set yourself up now at 2nd and 15 at about the 12.
A very advantageous situation.
And now you have to take advantage of it. You cannot allow Bentley to come out and get a first down here. So you got to make 2 stops.
It's a fake this time to Sturm, and he gets tripped up.
Yellow Jackets are lucky there. Is a trip coming, I believe, Antoine Golson there. Looked like 29. I could be misreading the number from up here.
It's tough to keep track because the defense is going so fast.
And shifting so much. It was Golson, the safety, who was actually up on a blitz, and he tripped the quarterback. If the quarterback hadn't been tripped up there, he's probably getting 8 or 9 yards, but now 3rd and 12. And it's a dire situation for Bentley. That's going an empty backfield and 5 wide receivers. Don't think the QB's calling his own number again. This is going to be a pass play.
I would think so. He throws it, and it is incomplete.
Yeah.
Pass intended for the receiver number 5. That is Tejan Vassar.
Yeah, and it was overthrown. Sturm rushed it. AIC with just 4 down linemen got penetration, and Sturm had to hurry that throw. As a result, it's off the mark, and it's a 3 and out. And once again, that fumble sets the whole thing up, and then all the defense has to do is execute, and it did.
Yeah, you usually don't see a run like that, like a quarterback draw, unless you're down at the goal line. If you're a Giants fan, you've seen that a couple times with Daniel Jones. I didn't think that was a likely I heard that. I don't think that was a likely call there, but you never know.
I mean, my Buffalo Bills do it a lot, but that's because Josh Allen is our quarterback. He likes to run.
Yeah, Patriots can't do that with Mac Jones, but we're very happy to have him. And that's a muff punt by AIC! And Bentley potentially had a chance at this.
Yeah, falling on top of that at the end, the Yellow Jackets did get it, but you're right, a muff. But still, since they do fall on it, no return, not that they were going to get much, but they start with the ball on their own 48. So basically midfield, and again, the difference in field position, the 16 or the 48.
Right.
That's huge. The literal difference of 32 yards, but just mentally as an offense, knowing that you have a shortened field to attack, and then mentally as a defense, knowing one mistake could cost you 7 points. It wears on you, and this Bentley defense has been backed up against the wall all 4 drives that they've been facing. Now, they've been able to make some stops, but it's tough to keep doing it. You can't keep going to the well like that.
Chase Speller in a running back. Angel Baez lined up as a right wing. He was in H-back the last time they were playing regularly before the world went crazy, but he's listed as a reserve now, but he came in to block. Looks like a gain of just 1 for Mr. Speller.
Yeah, that time well read by the Falcons, and they need a 3 and out here, Anthony.
They do.
Just to get themselves back mentally. It's not as though the Bentley defense has played badly. They've just had very little to work with AIC's starting field position. I'm curious to see what DeMille does here with 2 receivers to either side. Now in motion.
He's going to drop back and try to throw. He's going to try to throw a deeper run. He loses the football, and an AIC lineman, I couldn't get a good look at the number, is able to recover it.
Good swat there by Bentley and getting the ball loose. DeMille's got to protect that a little better. He looked like he wasn't sure if he still wanted to try to throw it, and then just as he was making the switch to putting it down to run is when it got poked out. That's timing. And AIC facing a 3rd and 8. And now, again, you've taken a lot of plays out of the offense's playbook here. I don't think we're going to see another one before the end of the quarter with 3 seconds and 2.
And now 1.
And that's it. But 7-0 AIC after 1, which I think if you're the Yellow Jackets, you'd rather be the team with the 7 than the team with the 0.
Certainly.
A good first quarter. Let's see if they can carry the momentum into the second. They'll have a lot of time to plan here. Of course, so will Bentley. And you'll see rested and refreshed defenses. One good thing about this switch is the ball right on the 50. AIC is now going to have their backs to the sun running up the field.
Good point.
The defense is going to have their sun in their face. Although, of course, the receivers when they turn to make the catch.
That's going to make life a little difficult. But going back to the potential throw that was going to be, it seems like a second or 2 before the ball got swatted away. That might have been the moment to throw. It seemed like he was setting up. The timing was there. We didn't have the best look downfield, so there might have been a play developing, but he hitched out a little bit, and that's really what set up the fumble.
Yeah, and I think, again, it's that little seam over the middle that AIC has used to great effect. Bentley has kind of shut that off a little bit, and the thing is you can't defend every area of the field.
Right.
It's just too big. So you've got to find, if you're AIC, where that new hole is now that Bentley has committed to plugging that spot in the middle. Where is that new gap, and how do you exploit it and force Bentley to change again?
Us Patriots fans know a thing or two about seam routes.
3rd down here.
DeMille tries to throw. Caught!
Wide open. Well, there's your hole.
Kobe Miranda.
Yeah, and nobody within a country mile. I mean, he could have gone home, done his homework, made himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and come back and still been open to catch that one. 4 defenders were all probably 15 feet away from him when that ball got there, and I mean, he had to go down to catch it, which prevented a couple yards after the catch. But if you're AIC, you'll take the gain of 14 on 3rd and 8.
Definitely. Of course, referring to the seam, Brady Gronkowski for a lot of years in New England. We saw that a lot. It's happening in Tampa now, and it's a tough play if you have a good route runner or do a run in it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that works out in Week 4 when Tom and Gronk come back to New England.
We'll be watching. DeMille has to run. DeMille tries to drop a move, makes a man sort of miss, and then
picked up
Ken
a block
gets a hook.
Yeah, good work by DeMille. I think he recognized that nothing was going to work there and that he had some space, and gains 9, which on a quote-unquote broken play, because I don't think that was what was designed to happen there, to gain 9, it just speaks to DeMille's ability to recognize when he's got an opportunity to run and when he needs to hold on to it and wait
He's
for
athletic.
things to yeah, exactly. Didn't have to wait for it to develop there. It just, let's go.
Take the handoff to Speller. Downfield, got an open man, and is he into the end zone? Yes, he is!
Right again over the middle, Anthony, and you're right, wide open, and DeMille with the touch, and AIC with a 14-0 lead.
It's Ramsey again with another big, impactful play.
Yeah, and again, the defenders were off on him, and DeMille just finds that seam in the defense, finds that hole, able to plug it with the big pass play, and this is what you've seen AIC's defense do all year against Franklin Pierce. They did it against Pace. They did it. Just pound the ball over the middle with good passes as the PAT goes. Anthony, this has been offensively, and especially as far as pass plays goes, a clinic by the Yellow Jackets.
You saw the bench very happy about Ramsey's touchdown. Is that potentially his first collegiate, or we have a?
He's caught some, but he caught some against Pace. But think about this for DeMille: 7-9 for 108 yards.
Woo-woo.
So I mean, he's averaging over 10 yards an attempt, even if you include the 2 incompletions. Oh, it's 108, I believe, is 12 yards an attempt, right on. So that's, I mean, DeMille's quarterback rating right now is 251. And Sturm's on the other side, 0 for 4 with an interception, is minus 50. And that's the difference in this game. AIC's also rushed for 73 yards on 8 attempts. Bentley on 11 attempts has 53 yards, which isn't bad. But when you're not passing and AIC can just stack the box, it's going to continue to be a very long day for the Bentley Falcons if they don't figure it out in a hurry.
And let's put this into perspective. 158.3 is a perfect passer rating.
Yeah.
DeMile's off the charts at the moment.
He has broken the statistic. Now, is it going to remain that way? Probably not. That's a really hard thing to maintain for 60 minutes, and Bentley's going to just take the touch back here. And
understandable.
yeah, they have not gotten good field position trying to return it, so you might as well take it at the 25 and call it a day, but
251.9.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like with baseball earlier this year when who was it for the Mets pitcher who had an ERA of like .13 and his ERA plus was like 290 or something silly. Like it wasn't Noah Syndergaard, it's DeGrom. Like just
that's what I was trying to think of,
breaking the numbers.
That's the name I was trying to think of, but the only Mets player that coming to my head was Alonso. I'm like, nope, that's not it.
he doesn't pitch. No, he's an infielder.
And a very good hitter.
Yeah, he is very good. Speaking of things that are very good, look at this run that should not have been, and again, the failed tackling.
Ooh, hello. Roddy Rojas Sportia at the end, letting him know, hey, you're out of bounds. Welcome to Springfield.
The problem there, though, is that Sturm should have been wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, definitely.
And he had, again, hands on the quarterback behind the line, and you don't make the tackle. And Sturm, a part of it, good job breaking it, but what should have been a sack ends up being a first down. And maybe a momentum changer.
Yeah, it was a little hard to tell because it happened kind of quick if that was a designed quarterback run or just a broken play, but he made something out of nothing. Handoff here. Didn't have the best look at the number there. I don't know if you did, Seth. That looks like to be 22.
That was Brzezicki, number 22, the second running back. And a
I
gain
remember
of 9.
him.
And again, just breaking through the line, getting into the secondary, a gain of 9. You set up 2nd and 1. This is as good as Bentley's offense has looked since the first drive of the game. And the Yellow Jackets' defense needs to tighten up.
Brzezicki's been around, I believe, if I got my name correct.
No, you're right. He's a veteran player. I believe he's a junior on the field. 3 to the right should be interesting.
Another design quarterback run. So they're trusting Sturm here.
I don't know if that was actually designed. The defense for AIC kept the receivers covered well, but with only 1 yard to go and it being 2nd down, if you're Sturm, it's pretty easy to just call your own number and take it up the middle. Ends up gaining 5.
Some
Actually,
quarterbacks
6.
do have that freedom.
Yeah, I mean, and when your team is 3-0 and scoring as many points as Bentley has been, and Sturm is a veteran quarterback, you know, again, you got to have a guy who can recognize when it's time to just pull it down and run. Great recognition there.
Quick motion again across the formation. Brzezicki slides down.
And again, a man getting penetration for the Yellow Jackets and just not able to get the tackle that time. It's how close this game is, though, for AIC at some points. You get the breakthrough, maybe get a hand on him, but can't finish it. And that's the difference between a loss of 5 and a gain of 5.
I will admit, I am a little surprised that this game hasn't been more back and forth. Quick swing.
Well done by the Falcons, and that's commitment to doing the right things defensively or offensively by Abel Lopez Jr., the receiver who knew he wasn't getting the ball thrown to him and just blocks the one man to change the screen pass from a gain of 1 to a gain of 6 and a first down.
That was Zay DeCias again.
Yep.
Who's been making quite a few plays, and it just hasn't amounted to a lot of points yet. He's shown off his athleticism. He got the handoff.
Yeah, this is the best Bentley has looked since that first drive, and of course that drive ended rather abruptly. Good defense that time by the Yellow Jackets.
Oh, yeah. They had a feeling they knew what was coming.
Bentley has run on every first down, I think, in this game that they've had.
Or
so
just about.
yeah, it's been pretty close to every one, if it's not every one, but
So maybe getting a little predictable there, but at the same time, they could any second just lull them to sleep with the run, and then bam.
Sean Bell.
Bell with the tackle.
Gain of a couple, brings up 2nd and 8 from the AIC 30.
Once again, this is as deep into the territory as AIC has gotten, or as AIC has had to defend, rather.
Play fake. Trying to get another screen going, it looked like, and it worked better than the last time because it wasn't picked off, but still not a result they were looking for.
Yeah, it got tipped, and the Yellow Jackets were on it. They read that very well, and now Bentley facing a 3rd and 8, and kind of in no man's land here. If you don't get the first down, that's a really long field goal, but it's too close to punt, and you're almost forced to go for it, which could be to your advantage if you end up with a 4th and 2, and you may just attack, especially with the run game they've had today. And one man on an island to the left, that could be interesting.
Maybe a quick look to the sideline, maybe a quick play change there, but you still got one-on-one.
Bentley's got to take a timeout. They ran out of time. I don't think they were comfortable with it, and I think they know how much this play matters in their terms of their chances to get back into this game before the half.
First time out of the game by either side.
And you have to call it. Obviously, you can't take a delay a game penalty here, so you burn it. It's the 2nd quarter. Who cares? Kind of thing. It's not like you're doing this in the 4th.
That would be bad.
You'll get the 3 new ones to start the half, and you can't take them with you. So get it right in this situation if you're Bentley, because, again, if you don't, you're in the unenviable position of a 4th down that you have to kind of go for.
Right.
And that obviously, as we've seen today, is an advantage for the defense. AIC's 4th down play, of course, did not work, as Bentley was able to smother the opportunity. So now Bentley in that situation on the other side, and certainly 3rd and 8's easier to deal with than 4th and 8. And again, if you can get, you don't have to necessarily get the first down here, but you've got to cut it to like 1 or 2. You know, if you're facing a 4th and 4, 4th and 5, it's a nightmare. And obviously 4th and 8 if you have an incomplete pass or worse.
Quick side note, good to have fans back.
Yeah, the crowd certainly filling in nicely here at Abdow. And
looks like Brzezicki on the carry again. He's trying to push the line and saying, hey, I'm behind you, go. And
I think he might be a yard short.
That's what I thought initially as well.
Yeah, just able to. Where are they going to mark the spot of the ball?
Well,
they're going to put it at the. They're going to bring out the chains, I think, here.
An official measurement.
Because this is close. I think he's just. I think he is just short of it.
Ball is the 22-yard line.
It says 4th and 5 on the board.
Well, I think they haven't updated it yet. They're waiting to see what the fine folks with the sticks come up with. Just short.
Just short.
Short by maybe half a length of a football, Anthony. So
4th and 1.
Goal line offense and goal line defense. Bring in the extra D lineman if you're AIC, and the extra OLs if you're Bentley. And this could, I know it's strange to say in the 2nd quarter, this could be the game here.
Or part of it at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because think about this. Bentley gets the first down. They're probably going to score at least some points.
Right.
Get themselves back in it. If AIC gets the stop here, that is so deflating. And then potentially, of course, the Yellow Jackets could then go up 21-0.
Brzezicki's still in. I thought Larkins would come in, and Larkins has not been in a little bit.
That's interesting. Maybe just the bigger body to try to push over the line.
Quarterback draw.
He got it.
He got it.
And then some. Yeah, I think that's probably also why. I think there was never any intent to hand that ball off. You got your quarterback who can run. It's like, I know he's not thought of as a running quarterback, but Brady always on those 4th and 1s, whether it was a goal line 4th and 1 or just 4th down and 1 in the field like that, would always take the carry himself because he was very good at just pushing through and getting a couple yards. And
sometimes they just call it the Brady sneak.
Yeah.
That's how he got his first touchdown with Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you had that on your bingo card.
I think pretty much everybody did. I didn't think Brady was ever going to run it otherwise.
Now it looks like Larkins is in, and he's trying to play, and
just shy of the first down here. And
looks like Roddy trying to swing a Bentley man down, just trying to finish the play. Didn't get a good look at the Bentley number, though.
yeah, 2nd and 1 on the 9. And now this is really it for Bentley now. You've got to score.
Otherwise, you might be looking at a route.
Here
Another
comes
handoff here.
room to the outside. This is trouble. That's a
Touchdown! It's Nathaniel Larkins.
Just great bounce to the outside. Recognition right to the cone. And Bentley bends but doesn't break. Sticks to their game plan. Tip your cap. I mean, that's a great drive by the Bentley Falcons, and it's what we expected. You can't stop them forever. They are too good to shut out.
Yep.
And they are back in this thing, and now it's on the AIC offense to have an answer. But first, the PAT.
Oh, yeah, that's very important.
Ugly snap, but it
Yeah,
worked.
I was going to say, it's a little ugly, but it worked.
Now it's kind of like me. I'm going to just mute Anthony's mic so he can laugh for a few moments. I think I just broke him. It's been a while since I've been able to do that, folks.
Where did that come from?
You good?
Whose idea was it to put us back together?
Yours.
That is true.
Well, AIC gives up a touchdown. Like I said, now it's about how do you respond. You know, Bentley has, gotten itself off the ropes. They've thrown a punch of their own. They've landed it. Now, if you're the Yellow Jackets, you need your offense to do its thing. And it's been able to do its thing the last 2 drives. Yellow Jackets close to 200 yards of offense. Here's the thing I think AIC's got to figure out. Bentley, 120 yards on the ground. It's been just a freight train.
Basically.
And it's been runs up the middle, runs to the outside, and just lots of different packages and looks for the Bentley Falcons. The Yellow Jacket defense has got to, D-line's got to get better penetration and get to the running backs before they can get to the outside or close those holes and not allow men over the middle. And if that means bringing a linebacker up to blitz, so be it.
We haven't had called Isaiah Tolbert's name at all.
Yeah, I don't know that he's actually had too much involvement.
And by the way, it might have been my idea to put us back together, but who let it happen?
Tom. Yeah, Tolbert just 2 tackles. Bentley, oh boy, they kicked it out of play.
Way out. That is gone.
Yeah, yeeted on to the bench near athletic trainer Jessica Raniero, who didn't even move. I mean, she spent 4 years at Mercyhurst University as a lacrosse goalie. If football's not going to scare her. She throws herself in front of objects that are moving a lot faster than that on a regular basis. But again, we talked about the field position. AIC starts with the ball on the 40. That is...
That can make or break you.
Yeah.
I remember back in those early Patriots Super Bowls when they played the Panthers, a kick out of bounds in part set up the game-winning field goal by Adam Vinatieri.
Mm-hmm.
Also a good drive by Brady, but a young Brady, but still, you got to start somewhere.
Actually starts at the 35, but either way, again, good field position for the Yellow Jackets to start with.
Davila.
Good break.
Stuffed pretty much.
Good break of a tackle to turn nothing into at least something, and a really good block at the O-line. One of the blitzing linebackers by Bentley was just removed from the play. And those are those little things that don't necessarily show up in the score sheet, but they make a difference, as that would have been a loss of a yard or 2, and instead it's a gain of 4, and so a difference really of 6 yards because of one block.
We haven't seen Davila line up as a receiver yet. We know he's very capable of it.
They haven't needed to have that happen yet.
Carey, DeMild, makes a couple of men miss and gets swung down.
Another good run, though, and a gain of 4 that set up 3rd and 2, and a design play again. They fake the handoff, get the defense moving to their left, and then DeMille goes back right, one man to beat. He beat him, and that's why you get the gain of 4 and you set up 3rd and short.
Playbook's open here for AIC.
Oh, yeah, you could do just about anything with this.
Pistol look. DeMild looks for a man, finds it. First down.
Again, over the middle. Doesn't have to be a lot of yards, but you get the first down, you move the sticks.
It's Ramsey again.
Yeah, Jackson Ramsey just finding those soft areas in the defense and hitting them. And that's how it's death by 1,000 cuts for the most part for Bentley. There have been a couple of big plays, but it's mostly been those 8 and 10 yard over the middles that have burned them.
Jackson with an X.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's usually X, Y, A, B, right? You're playing your PlayStation.
Whoa, nice play by Davila to stay up.
Samad Davila was not going to be taken down by just anybody. He broke a couple tackles. I've talked about how AIC has needed to be better at tackling. That time, Bentley, I mean, you had 4 or 5 different guys who had hands on him and just slipping through like he's covered in Crisco. Hopefully it's the butter-flavored Crisco, because the regular one's just not as good.
You know from experience?
I do a lot of baking.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. How do you think I got this figure? Come on.
Sets at it again, folks. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't look right. DeMille turned bad eggs into egg salad. You can't bake that, but somebody went the wrong way.
Well, the fake handoff, and DeMille was handing it off to nobody, and Bentley didn't get fooled by it as a result. Still able to gain a yard, but you were never going to get much on that play with Davila going the wrong way, and you can see DeMille and Davila talking that over. There was some miscommunication between the two of them there. You're right, Anthony, but still 3rd and 1. So you're not in a bad spot here if you're AIC, and I think this is probably just going to be a shove the ball down their throat type of play. Only question is whether it's number 2 or number 10.
If I knew you would bait, guy would expect. Oh, no.
Well, that's not good.
Good night. Not ideal.
Yeah, that's about as bad of a thing to happen as you can have if you're AIC, and now you're going to have to punt. That's a loss of about 20.
No amount of baking could have saved that play. And meanwhile, where has this secret been? Why haven't you been bringing baked goods for us?
Usually I save it for the teams.
Well, we're a team, the AIC Athletic Communication Team.
Yeah, but save it for the teams that are on the field. Ask the softball team about chocolate Rice Krispie treats. Won a playoff game. I'm just saying.
They're asking about donuts earlier. You could have made and brought in donuts.
I could have. You're right. Great punt by Ratty.
Yeah, meanwhile, back at the football game.
That was fabulous. Portilla able to get that off and pin Bentley down to the 10.
He can do a lot of things for you.
Special Teams Player of the Week 2 weeks ago, and you see why there. And again.
And not a bad DB.
No. And the field position, once again, AIC started on the 35, and yes, it ended up stalling because of some mistakes. But Bentley's got to start on its own 10.
Right.
So they got to go 90 yards to score here to tie this thing up, and it's a lot to ask. They do have 2 timeouts and 4.5 minutes to do it, so it's obviously not impossible.
Right.
But when you pin yourself back like this, it does make things difficult.
Is Roddy still on the baseball team as well?
No.
No?
No, strictly football.
Well, he does a lot for you. He can kick off, he can punt, he can play a little DB, he can play some linebacker.
You see him out there right now, just in case anybody gets through, a gain of a couple. As a bevy of humanity. And the Yellow Jackets know Bentley's running the ball at this point. And so the play calling has reflected that defensively. This is where, if you're Bentley, you need Sturm to make a pass just to keep the defense honest, because right now, as Isaiah Tolbert ends up getting credit with that tackle. We talked about having seen much of him. We haven't really needed to. It hasn't been like Sturm has been dropping back in the shotgun and being back there to pass. It's been a whole lot of run plays, and now they're going to put everybody on one side of the field.
But at the same time, this defense is better when Tolbert is at his best.
No doubt about it.
Not a bad run.
No, end up gain of about 7. We'll see where they mark the spot as to where he went out of bounds. But again, a play that you knew was coming and still that much of a gain, even though you had the entire team on that side of the field. It's a credit to Bentley, too.
Yep.
Great blocking on their part. But the Yellow Jackets, when you know what's coming, you have to stop it. And it's now 3rd and 2. Maybe even 3rd 1.5, really.
Could be a quarterback keeper again. No, it's a tap pass over to Zay to see us again.
Yeah, just a pitch play, and it's pitch perfect, and it's a first down. And it's, again, all you need is a couple of yards, but it's those different looks and the different rotations, and you never know who's going to be running the ball or if it's going to be a play like that, whether it's going to the middle, to the left, to the right, to the outsides.
Do a loop-de-loop, do a zigzag.
Yeah, I was going to say put your left foot in, put your left foot out, put your left foot in, and shake it all about. What if the hokey pokey is what it's all about?
Well, when you put it like that.
Again, though, it's impressive by Bentley that it's been done entirely on the ground. I mean, one completion to this point. It's all been running type plays.
Let's check the rosters real quick. Let's make sure we're not having Army here instead of Bentley, and that will be a false start.
That's not what you want. Well, they called the timeout before the snap, so.
Only one left for them, I believe.
That's only one, but you only need one at this point. 2:29 still to go, so you have plenty of time. Yellow Jackets up 14-7 in game one of our triple header today here at AIC. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, volleyball will battle Stonehill at 6 o'clock tonight in their home opener, whereas men's soccer will be out here in what is decidedly not their home opener. It's their 6th home game out of 8. They will take on these same Bentley Falcons. I'll be on the call of the men's soccer game. And the Yellow Jackets getting ready for a big one. And that's true whether it's volleyball, men's soccer, or this play right here. 1st and 10 on the Bentley 24, and the Falcons needing a touchdown to tie this thing up.
On the ground again. This time it's Brzezicki. Swallowed up.
Yeah, they recognize that. The Yellow Jackets did. Bentley motioned men to the left and then ran to the right, and AIC caught the fake before it was able to be executed. They had 3 men stay to the left, and they were able to stay with Brzezicki and stop him from gaining more than a couple of yards.
Coming up on 2 minutes left to go before half.
No 2-minute warning in college football, of course, so Bentley doesn't get the free timeout.
Bet they wish they had it right about now.
Jackets show blitz.
Keeper, Sturm. Not much.
Not much, but still enough to make it 3rd and 1, though. A gain of 4, and just pushing forward a lot. You'll see a lot of quarterbacks kind of go down easily. Sturm takes the hit to get the extra yard or two, and it does make a difference. It adds up over the course of a game to 15, 20 yards, and sometimes that can be all that matters. And now 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 3. A very different animal.
Quarterbacks do got to be careful with that sometimes, and wouldn't surprise me if this is another quarterback run.
Yeah, AIC is tightened on the box. 2 linebackers right there.
It is a pass, and they're going to sprint. Caught, 1st down to see us again. Ooh, he is lighting up the score sheet today.
No, he's done very well, and AIC concedes another 1st down and gets out of bounds, which stops the clock without using that last timeout.
So good job.
Yeah, very important because it keeps all of the options open in the playbook. I mean, when you're down to no timeouts with a minute to go, it pretty much takes the runs out of the playbook, and that's been Bentley's bread and butter all day long. So.
Yep, basically.
But they are opening it up a little bit, and trips to the right this time.
Double pass, it looks like. Nope, it's just a screen, and a well-executed screen. He's running. Really, really good job by Jonathan Araki, whose name is being called for the first time today, so we weren't quite prepared for it, but...
Well, neither were the Yellow Jackets. Just, again, a design play. Swing to the outside, hit the man, and get some blocks. People know their roles on a given play as they do it again.
Good tackle.
Yeah,
by number 24, I believe that is. Nope, that is Keith Jackson.
Yeah, that time Keith Jackson was ready for that. He tied his man up right away, kept it to just a couple. Does get out of bounds, though, which stops the clock. 41 seconds to go.
That looked to be number 4 for Bentley. That is Abel Lopez Jr., if that is the case.
It was, and I was going to say, we've called that name a couple of times. Bentley with trips again, this time to the right, which is the offside.
Another pass. He's pushing it for the end zone. Incomplete.
Well defended by AIC that time, as Xavier Torres was sticking to his man like frosting on a cupcake. And,
Okay, you're making me hungry now.
well, good thing it's halftime. We're about to get fed. Or just about.
Breaking news, local broadcaster doubles as baker. Does not share. Shares when he wants to, I should say. He's like, yep, I'm not even denying it.
Let's see if the AIC defense gets greedy here and can get that stop.
34 seconds left to go. Sturm running. Looking for the sideline. Looks like he's going to be just short.
Yeah, knocked out at about the 26. It's going to bring up 4th and 2. And, I mean, if you're Bentley, you go for it. 4th and 2. You have one timeout left, 28 seconds. Yes, AIC does have all 3 of its timeouts. I imagine.
Oh, hold on a second.
We got a Yellow Jacket who is down, just cramped up. That is number 53 for the Yellow Jackets. That's Josh Marcano. And quickly, JJ Pignataro and Jess Raniero are out there to take a look. It's that right ankle just tightening up on him a little bit, and they'll...
Yeah, little Charlie horse in your foot. It can happen.
Had it happen to me plenty of times. They'll stretch him out, get him some pickle juice at halftime.
Pickle juice?
So pickle juice has a boatload of electrolytes in it, which of course helps you rehydrate.
Well, how about that?
It's a thing famously that when Art Wilkins was the head coach back in the 90s, a lot of the players would drink pickle juice before and it's still a thing that a lot of guys do. In football and in hockey, you see it a lot too.
Wow.
Does it taste good?
Probably not.
Probably not. But it works, and it works enough that they're still doing it. He's gonna be helped off the field, not putting a lot of weight on that ankle, if any at all. But
so you hate to speculate, but maybe it might be a little bit more than a cramp potentially.
Maybe. I mean, doesn't look like it's too extreme, but you don't want to put any weight in. There's no reason to put not to have him get helped off. Yeah, he's going to try to put a little weight on it. Yeah. But it is what it is. Next man up in the meantime, because this is 4th down, and if you're AIC, you have to get this stop.
Here we go. Hand off.
He got it.
He got it.
Which, of course, will stop the clock because of the sticks moving here in the college game. So.
Yep, you don't have that luxury in the NFL. If this were the NFL, a timeout would be taken promptly.
Well, it's only long enough to start the sticks, and
I think they just clocked it.
Well, I think Bentley just spiked it. So it's now second down, which is interesting because they have a timeout.
Yeah, that was weird.
Maybe deciding that they'd rather keep the timeout to just have a running play, but it does. Well, no,
I can understand that.
No, it's still 1st down according to the markers. Pass play here, a lot of time and a lot of room and a
touchdown.
Yep.
That is, I believe, Brzezicki. Yes, it is. He can do it all. He can run. He can catch. And Bentley will have what AIC does not want, momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, that's a great play, just getting behind the defender who got turned around, and the Yellow Jackets give up the ghost in the final 10 minutes of the second quarter, and what was looking so good has gone from cruise control to out of control for the Yellow Jackets. Now, AIC does get the ball to start the second half.
Very important.
But it puts a lot more pressure on the offense. You have to score now.
I agree.
PAT is good, and we got a tie game.
For a split second, I wasn't sure if they were going for 2, but we're tied at 14.
So Bentley will kick off. It'll be interesting to see if AIC takes a crack at the end zone here. You got 12 seconds minus, 3 or 4 for the kickoff, let's say. So 8 seconds. You do have a timeout to use. You have 3, but realistically, you're only ever going to get to use 1. So you get 1, maybe 2 cracks at the end zone. Well, don't forget in college that's just a 15-yarder. It's not a spot foul.
Right. I've actually seen it happen both ways, so I'm kind of somewhat questioning that rule now, because sometimes it's a spot foul and then sometimes it's 15 yards. So
yeah, I believe it's spot or 15, whichever is less. But automatic 1st down either way, and obviously an untimed down But let's see what the Yellow Jackets can do on the return, too. It's
Right, because the game can't, a half or a game can't end on a defensive penalty.
Correct.
Into kick for Bentley number 89, Mason Campbell.
Oh, here comes the run back.
Kobe Miranda.
And Miranda with a
Ooh.
pretty good one at that. Look at him.
Knocked out of bounds by number 37.
It looks like they're going to get a
And DeMar.
cart potentially from Marcano on the sideline. Potentially, or just crutches.
Yeah.
Turner return. Holding. Number 44 return.
Holding on AIC.
First down.
So it's a 10-yard penalty, pushes AIC back to the 30.
That might just eliminate the threat.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to pull anything off. They are bringing Smith and DeMild and Davila out.
Maybe just to take a knee? Looks
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. They do have one man back in case the snap gets away somehow. And AIC getting its 11th man onto the field. Okay. Now they're getting their 11th man.
We can't count.
That's okay.
We can math good. They'll take a knee, and that's how the first half will come to an end. We are tied up at 14 apiece. We're going to take a break, get something to eat. We'll be back with you in the second half in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
About to kick off our second half of action. The Yellow Jackets left to right as you look at your computer screen in the third quarter. Bentley will kick it away as AIC won the toss and deferred back before the game started. An update for you, though, before Anthony takes back over the action. Women's cross country wins the Division I Ted Owen Invitational. 4 top 8 finishes. Marceline Cameo taking second in the race as the Yellow Jackets women get a huge win over 7 Division I opponents in that race.
That's huge.
Massive. So certainly some good news as the kickoff goes out of bounds.
Again.
Bentley's kicker has kicked toward that right sideline a lot. It's the second time he gets burned, so AIC will start with possession further up the field.
It's very uncharacteristic to see 1 kick out of bounds. Now we've seen 2. Kind of weird.
And the Yellow Jackets will have an opportunity to take advantage of the ball on the 35-yard line again. So once again, good field position to start, but the Yellow Jackets, who have absorbed a couple gut punches late, need to get things going, and this is not how you want to start.
Well, Kobe at least made something out of nothing.
Yeah, he got back to the line, but still the Falcons read that very well and were able to slam the door shut. He gained actually about a half a yard, but that could have been a big loss, so good for him to get back.
So not much on that first play as the complexity of the game significantly changed in the closing minutes of the half. Quick throw again to Mild. Tries to evade a man. He does. Trying to look for 2, and that was just not good.
Yeah, nobody getting open and great penetration in the defense. Jason DeMille just had nothing that he could have done about that, and it's 3rd and a bunch as Bentley, as you said, Anthony, feeding off the momentum from the first half. This thing has gone for AIC from cruise control to out of control.
Does it get any worse than out of control?
I guess you could hit a tree.
Let's not think like that. Positive vibes, positive vibes.
At this point, that's what Jason DeMille must feel like after that sack. He was pounded on by about 4 Bentley jerseys.
Really have to throw here. Not much of a choice. He pads, he looks, he's trying to run, he's trying to set something up. Get people in the stands pointing to open receivers, but he doesn't see them.
Yeah, just running for his life. Bentley has figured out the AIC offensive line, and DeMille ends up gaining about 10 on that scamper to the 40, but just nothing. And credit, as you said, credit Bentley. Those are some good plays by the Falcons.
Sure.
And sometimes your offense looks bad because the defense looks good.
Number 8, Roddy Rojas Portilla.
So Roddy Rojas Portilla is going to punt it away because he's multi-talented and can do these sort of things. And we're going to have a penalty.
I think the Yellow Jackets jumped at the line.
I believe you're correct.
And they'll get Jimmy Brown as the guilty party, and that'll push AIC back to its original line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. So a tale full of sound and fury, signifying nothing on that drive at all for the Yellow Jackets, who will end up with a net of 0 yards on a punt. Uh-oh.
That's potentially going to be a penalty.
Yeah, Rojas Portilla got knocked down, and he's looking at the ref and wanting his call, and he's not getting, and I'm a little surprised. Coach Kulzer's out on the field asking for it, too. I mean, running into the kicker, because that's not roughing the kicker. That's running into the kicker. It should be a penalty. It wouldn't be enough for a first down, but it would push Bentley back 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I heard a pop, and I was watching the punt.
Yeah, I mean, he just took Rojas Portilla out at the ankles, diving to block the punt. And
maybe that's what they ruled, just momentum.
Yeah, that it was unavoidable at that point because he had already committed when the punt was away. But still, it's on the player to not hit the kicker.
And I bet that doesn't make Roddy feel any better.
No, not at all. Good run to the outside.
Yep, looks like that was Larkins just working the outside zone again.
From the same look, a lot of different plays that can be run, and it's, to use another baseball analogy, it's like Mariano Rivera's cutter. The way he could hold it and subtly change things meant that one pitch was really 8 or 9. And in the same vein, Bentley's had a lot of the same setup, trips wide receivers, and then one to the opposite side, and run a lot of different plays out of that look as they get another first down here.
I wasn't sure initially. I thought the knee might have been down, but I think you're right. I think that is a first. If not a first, it's inches away from being a first down.
No, they're moving the sticks as he gets to the 40.
Oh, so there you go. There's your confirmation. When in doubt, look at the sticks. Because they won't play tricks.
That's true.
Although they can if you use an index card to measure the first down.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Jackets show blitz here.
Quick play fake. This time it's dropped by Decius, who has been very reliable today, but not on that one.
Yeah, and he's frustrated with himself on that. He's got to make that catch. It's an easy 5 or 6 yards if he just holds on to the ball, but it slipped through his hands and couldn't hang on to it, which sets up a second down. And those are the kind of plays that can kill a drive, because now you put the pressure back on the offense, who has to get 10 yards in 2 plays, really, rather than 3.
Defense in tight. Pull by Sturm. Sturm rumbling, gets the first down.
You can just get 11 or 12 yards on one rush like that. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
BYOB, be your own blocker. They're rolling here.
That they are.
Running again, Larkins. Oof.
A heavy hit.
That was Charles Robinson saying hello, how do you do?
Charles Robinson. Gaining about 3 on the play, moving up to second.
2nd and 6 for the Bentley offense. Brzezicki is back in. Martin, the tight end on the left side, kind of is just a wing blocker. Been seeing him a lot. Brzezicki makes a couple guys look silly and gets forward.
Yeah, not able to really turn the corner, but always going a little bit forward with every step, and it ends up being a lot as the yes, it is the Falcons, have 3rd and 3 on the 42. Is looking down as the Owls are playing the Chargers and have taken a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we're not playing the blue.
No, the Battle of the Elm City down there in New Haven in southern Connecticut.
Here he goes, flexing his geography brain on me again, folks. Brzezicki will have the first down.
Just gets through and keeps the feet churning. Good, simple, solid play. And again, AIC concedes the first down. The Bentley offense has been high-flying ever since getting that first touchdown.
This AIC defense is not looking quite right.
To a degree, I think it's fatigue. They've been out there for quite a bit of the game and just getting pounded on play after play after play. It'll wear you down.
They look pretty good there.
Yeah, they got 2 at that time.
Well, we mentioned it before. I'll say it again. We have really not called Isaiah Tolbert's name, and when he is a home wrecker. But he has not made a large impact today as we have a man down for Bentley.
Yeah, a couple of guys for Bentley got kind of knocked around on that play, and that is Lucas de Betancourt, the right guard. That's not a guy that you want to have get hurt. Not that you want anybody to get hurt, obviously, but your guards in particular so important, especially with Bentley running a run-heavy offense.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, when you're talking about going down the depth chart at a position like that, just the ability for AIC to get more penetration and stop some of those runs before they can get going is going to potentially make a huge difference. So, hopefully de Betancourt's okay, like regardless of the impact it has on the game, but certainly, for Bentley's sake, That's a guy that you can't afford to have out for too long.
He will be limping off, but he's able to walk, which is a good sign.
Certainly is a very good sign, but definitely that left leg is what he's favoring right now.
Don't want anybody hurt.
No, not at all.
No gain on the last play, brings up a 2nd and 10.
Empty to the right. This could be interesting here for Bentley.
Play action. Sturm looking to throw on the run. He's going to run instead and get shoved out of bounds.
Still gains 5, almost 6 yards, and just finding that hole. And we've talked about how for AIC finding the holes in the defense in the air, Bentley just always seems to find the holes on the ground.
That was Anton Golston on the tackle. The defenses have been playing fast and furious. It's kind of hard to get a number, but we've been able to get a few as of late. We're on a little bit of a streak.
Yellow Jackets with the linebackers tight to the line here on 3rd down.
Low snap, fake the toss to the motion, and Sturm advances it again, and more bodies tumble.
And another 1st down, just design play for the quarterback to find the hole. And
yep. That jet motion, trying to bait him in, trying to fake the toss, and even with the bobbled snap that was a little low, still got the job done.
Yep.
Bentley's getting closer and closer to that end zone, which is not what AIC wants to see or wants to hear, but we got to tell it like it is.
Extra protection in on the line. Again, 6 men on the line. Another run play, but that time the Yellow Jackets got through. That's Fabian Thames there. And the Yellow Jackets wising up a little bit here and bringing some extra size up on the front. And Charles Hollis, I think, might have been involved in that as well.
Yeah, it looks like Tolbert is still in. They're just doing a number on him to keep him from getting involved.
Well, there's a guy, with Tolbert, the reigning NE10 D lineman of the year, is a guy you've got to fixate on, so they're doubling him. And it's tough to get through 2 guys, 2-on-1 like that on every play.
Under center, hard play fake. He's got a potential catch, and it's a caught, but 2 flags are down, make it 3. And wasn't that taunting?
Another flag. Yeah, this is a mess. I don't know if this play is going to count. I think it's defensive pass interference on AIC, but I think Bentley might have just cost themselves. And Steven Sturm, for the first time all game, got hit hard as he let that ball go. It was not a penalty behind the line of scrimmage, mind you. But Sturm is feeling it a little bit here. You can tell in some of the body language. Now the officials conversing over these flags and what to do. And I think what's going to happen here is the catch is going to count.
Mm-hmm.
The DPI is during the play, which would likely be declined because you want the catch. And then the 15-yard penalty on Bentley for unsportsmanlike, and you're going to end up with 1st down basically where they started. Because, even if you accept the DPI, you negate the catch.
Sure.
And then the 15-yard penalty pushes you back where you were anyway. So it doesn't even...
Well, if they just made an announcement, I don't think I heard that much of it. Yep, unsportsmanlike.
Yep, so they do. As I predict, Bentley declines the penalty because they got more yardage out of the catch. And then they lose 15 yards on the unsportsmanlike. And so the end result is they get the 1st down, and then they get pushed back. So I think it's still going to be 1st and 10, but it's going to be, or does it just wipe the whole thing? Yeah,
and we didn't hear a number of the taunting player, but in the college game, you get 2 unsportsmanlikes, you're done.
Run play by Larkin.
It is a rivalry, but at the same time, you got to keep it smart. You got to stay disciplined, and a little bit of a lapse in judgment there for Bentley.
Yeah, and it costs them some, field position inside the 10. as the rush there is good for a couple. It's second down and about 7.
Gain about 3. Brings up a 2nd and 7.
That was quick.
Third pass.
Incomplete. It hit the ground. Oh, no, they're going to say it was caught.
There's no
Look.
review. There's no review.
No. The Yellow Jackets were all signaling that bounced, but the refs called it a catch.
And at this point, what the refs say go, because there is no
Yeah.
review. There's no challenges. There's none of that.
Nope, not here.
It's the AIC 10.
Bentley's
First and goal.
closing in. Motion here. They bring it back. Sturm looks incomplete, but a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be interference on AIC.
And that's 23 for AIC.
Kyle
That is
Jackson.
Jackson. He's like, what? Me? What did I do?
No, he got the free hand wrapped around Abel Lopez's waist before the ball got there is what he did, and that's a fairly easy call for the officials who will put the ball at the 5-yard line.
That's going to call it holding.
That foul against the eligible team. That penalty is set half the distance from the goal. Automatic. First down.
So that is Jackson. The Jackson brothers are still here, which is good to see, but a penalty nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a tough one for AIC to give up here because now it's first down again and it's on the 5, and
Yep.
Bentley hammering on the door and really a chance to kick it down and take the lead.
Knock, knock. Let the big bad wolf in. They're doing that double motion again.
And goal from the 5.
Hand it off. Larkin. Driving. Touchdown, Bentley.
Yeah, great work by Larkins there, just keeping the legs churning, pushing through. With offensive line pushes the defensive line back to create the opening and just turn the corner and into the end zone. And the Falcons have the 20-14 lead and a chance to make it 21.
This defense is having a little bit of trouble.
And Bentley has continued to pick it up as the PAT goes through, but AIC is now the team that's got to make adjustments. Bentley has adjusted. The Yellow Jackets were all over them the first 20 minutes of the game on both sides of the ball, and since then it's shifted completely 180 degrees in favor of the Falcons. And now the Yellow Jackets will have to answer for the first time coming out onto the field down, as Bentley's gotten the last 21 straight points.
Not a situation AIC wanted to be in, but now this offense that looked flustered as the defensive attack their first drive out. Can't help but think that this team is a little shell-shocked right now.
No, you're right. It's definitely an attitude adjustment that needs to be made in addition to some playing adjustments because, as I said, the momentum has gone entirely the other way.
Yep.
Update at the end of the first quarter down in New Haven, where the score is 7-6 in favor of the Chargers over the Owls, by the way. Take a peek around the NE10 to see who else is.
Well, isn't that a hoot?
Oh, it's certainly a charged up game. You're welcome.
Number 3, Bobby Miranda, number 7.
We're picking up right where we left off, aren't
Oh,
we?
yeah. Kobe Miranda
Oof.
on the return, and he
Ooh.
gets ragdolled.
And that Bentley sideline and those stands over there are pumped up.
Number 7, Bruno.
So Franklin Pierce playing St. A's right now as well, and we'll pull up the stats on that. Assumptions at Stonehill is the late game tonight. That's a 6 o'clock start. Should be a very good one.
Return brings the ball out.
St. A's early in the second quarter leading Franklin Pierce 14-0.
Yellow Jackets first and 10.
So Jason DeMille is in a tough spot right now.
And this is the furthest back down the field AIC has started to drive.
Yep, last time out, offensive line got smoked. Oh, that's not good.
And DeMille fumbles the snap. We've seen that a bunch of times, and it hasn't been DeMild's fault very often. A lot of bad snaps, but that time that's one that he's got to hang on to. And everything that can go wrong right now, Anthony, is.
It did look a little low initially, but I agree that the quarterback's got to at least try to keep that from hitting the ground. So that's going to back up everybody. Back at the 16, I believe we just heard.
Yeah, it's down to the 13, and so it's a 2nd down and 17. And the Yellow Jackets with trips on the left and empty to the right.
Play it safe here with a handoff, and it's probably not going to get very much.
Yeah, gained a couple, and oh my, over on the far side a little extra, but
tensions are starting to flare a little bit.
The Yellow Jackets have got to figure something out offensively and turn this thing around right now, because at the moment it has been a struggle. Got to have a completion here on 3rd and a lot. Got to get to the 30 for the 1st down. And I think, again, we've seen some of those passes over the middle that have worked, and I can already kind of see it forming as Bentley playing a prevent defense here. 4 men just in front of the 30 and only 4 linemen.
They know it's coming. DeVille lined up as a receiver. I was about to mention maybe that was a possibility. DeMild's running for his life, and he's going to get crunched.
Bentley bringing just 4 D linemen and still getting a sack.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's got to be better. And again, credit the Bentley defense, the whole unit, because obviously the 7 men back didn't leave anybody open, but the D-line's got to give DeMild more time than that. I think he was scampered for his life right away.
Can't have this if you're AIC. 4th and 21, you got to punt.
Yep. And the momentum just continues to be in the favor of the Falcons. And they've earned it. They've absolutely earned this the last 25 minutes of play. Great punt by Ratty.
That's the bright side of the drive.
And a great return for Bentley here. We talked about the field position, and Bentley's going to start on AIC's 32 as it's an 18-yard run back by Tajon Vassar, who could have fair caught that but didn't. Beat the first man and then had all the room in the world. That's the best field position for Bentley all game long, and they have a chance to put a stranglehold on this game before the 3rd quarter ends.
Which is not sure what we were going to talk about, but this has become the storyline in another quick-moving quarter.
It's been a fast-paced game. It's only an hour and 46 minutes old, and
Congratulations to today's football raffle winner.
Sturm keeps it again. There he goes. And that got to be careful there. That could be considered a horse collar tackle. I didn't see a flag right away, so I think they're going to get bailed out there.
Yeah, it was below the neck, but it was a high tackle, and that's not only obviously dangerous, but also just not like proper tackling. And we've talked about that a lot as well.
Can't go too high, can't go too low.
Yeah, the bigger issue is Sturm getting that many yards on a play like that.
Yep.
Update in some other NE10 sports. Stonehill leading Adelphi 2-0 in field hockey at halftime. Reagan Hickey with a goal and an assist for the Skyhawks.
Handoff. Brzezicki finds a hole, gets brought down.
Brought down by Isaiah Tolbert.
Oh, there's Tolbert.
Yeah, Tolbert with a good stop. It's not that he's played badly. It's like you said, though, Anthony, not a lot of things that he's been able to do because the Falcon O-line has keyed in on him, and as they should. And, it's a credit to Bill Kavanaugh and his coaching staff that they've made all the adjustments that they needed to after a very bad first quarter.
Yep.
They've been playing pretty much perfect football since. Another run play here.
And Larkins just pushes the pile. He's looking like a really good player right now.
And you look at the stats, too. It's over 230 yards on the ground, and we're not even through 3 quarters for Bentley. This has been we talked about the clinic the AIC offense was putting on in the first quarter. The Bentley Falcons run game has been more than just a clinic. It's been that play there for Bentley won't count as Chris Kulzer stopped the clock with a timeout.
Probably a smart decision there. I think this team might be reeling a little bit.
More than a little bit, Anthony. I mean, Sturm has 101 yards rushing.
Ooh, really? Wow.
On 11 carries.
That's a quarterback, folks.
And then Larkins has 91. Brzezicki has 35. And they've only thrown 6 pass completions.
It's like the 49ers in the NFC Championship a few years ago.
Yeah.
Jimmy only threw 6 times because Raheem Mostert had close to 230 yards.
But this has been very good for Bentley since the start of the second quarter.
Yeah.
Their offense has just been, and again, it's all predicated on just good offensive line play, good blocking by the receivers and the running backs, making the plays that they need to make. When players know their role and are happy to just execute what they're asked to do, you get what you're getting from Bentley. Like, huge credit to them for buying in.
Here goes Larkins again.
Pulled out of bounds about the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. But again, you see the work and you see the line getting off of their blocks. You see the wide receivers making the plays that they need to. You know, to see how many rush plays Bentley has had, and you know, it's easy for the receivers to get frustrated and feel like they're not an important part of the game plan, and they are. And you credit Bentley's wide receivers with allowing their offense, their rush offense, to do what it's done, because if you don't have receivers blocking, you're not going to get what you've had here.
Sturm, whoop! Will be just short by a yard or 2 to the goal line.
Yeah, Larkin that time on that carry and down to about, they'll be going the last play of the third quarter down 14. They were up 14 at one point.
This is not looking good for the Yellow Jackets, and they're running out of time.
Gonna need a very good fourth quarter.
Miranda gets belted.
Up to about the 25 though, so not bad. Return of about 15, as that kick was only to the 10-yard line. Bentley that time focusing on making sure the kick stayed in bounds.
Yeah, yes. We don't want a hat trick of out-of-bounds kickoffs.
No, definitely not what you're hoping for. Jason DeMild. Let's see what QB1's got in him, and if the offensive line can make the changes it needs to make.
I think this is just going to be a handoff to end the quarter. Probably just a safe thing to do.
It is a handoff, and
Davila tries to get wide, and he can't. And that will do it. The 4 fingers are going to come up any second to signify the fourth quarter.
So we'll take a break here on AIC Yellow Jackets TV, and we'll be back in a couple minutes with the fourth. Flag right off the hop to start the fourth quarter, and AIC it's nailed with a false start, Anthony. It is probably the worst way the quarter could have started.
Yeah, I know it's not our job to look at the sidelines all too much, but you can't help but notice that Isaiah Tolbert's just kind of on his own right now on a knee, just thinking and probably thinking some of the lines of what is going on here. Coach
Kulzer has most of the defense right now, and he's got the whiteboard out and drawing some stuff up. As the Yellow Jackets will now face a 2nd and 13.
Got to start throwing a lot here. Nice move. That looked to be number 86. Was that 86 or 85? I did not get the best look.
I think that was Jackson Ramsey.
Yep, I think I just heard Ramsey. I wasn't sure if that 5 was a 6, so I was getting ready to call Greg Olden's name.
Yeah, and good work by him to get to the sideline, get the extra couple of yards. It brings up 3rd and 2.
It was Ramsey. Olden's on the sideline right in front of me.
Yeah. Very much more manageable position right now for the Yellow Jackets, considering it was 2nd and 13.
Well, taking some shots here for AIC, but DeVille is going to get it started again on the ground.
And good work by him. Gain of 5. I mean, and churning the legs and yards after contact for a running back, so crucial. It's really the difference between a successful run and not. And Davila hit a couple of times, but kept his feet, kept moving. And a gain of what could have been just 2 ends up being 5, and 2nd down and 5 here for the Yellow Jackets. New Haven, by the way, just kicked a field goal. Bryant DeFelice from 22 yards out, a chip shot. New Haven leading 10-6. 5 minutes to go in the 2nd down there.
Oof. That was kind of ugly.
Davila hurdling a defender, but couldn't get past the next layer. Gain of maybe half a yard, if that. And 3rd down for the Yellow Jackets again, crunch time.
Well, definitely a passing down.
Which in turn might be why you do call a run play. If
True.
Bentley's going to be expecting a pass here, and they're certainly backing up. You see 4 men on the line. You see just 2 linebackers, nickel coverage.
Yeah.
So maybe you do hand it off, but they don't.
Steps up, trying to step up, and it's going to be over the head of Kaquan Jameson. His first time that we called his name today.
And DeMild was kind of not quite sure where he wanted to go with that ball because it wasn't quite close to anybody. And the end result is that AIC is going to have to punt.
Well, back in the day, 3rd and 5 or 3rd and long to those early Grambling teams was a run down no matter what with Doug Williams, the quarterback. But nowadays, it's usually a pass, but can't really get anything like that.
Yellow Jackets with 3 men to the right. You don't think they're going to run a fake here, do you?
Not in the slightest.
Now, Ratty, good punt there. And gets the roll he wanted.
Nice tackle.
And the Yellow Jackets will pin Bentley back at the 10 or 11 yard line. Get the men down the field. Get the stop right away. Of course, you can't call a fair catch once the ball hits the ground. So Bentley pinned back, and now the defense has got to get a stop here. If you can get a 3 and out here and get some momentum back, you can turn this game back in your favor.
Well, maybe
that's the if.
Yeah, well, maybe that's something you can bake. That was just a tumbling muffin.
I think I'm smelling burnt toast now.
Why is that?
Oh, my God.
I know. Another reference I don't get. Things never change.
Well, I just meant your brain.
Oh, a good time nowadays. Now that I'm a little more comfortable with the drive, but it's still a hike. Going home's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here. Whoa, nice tackle.
Except it was never handed off. Sturm kept the ball. He lost the yard still. But the Yellow Jackets read that one very well and had the quarterback and the running back both tied up, and they both paid the price on that play.
That was Kurt Lassiter. Again, his first time his name is being called, at least by I don't think you called his name yet.
No. And I'll tell you what, though, those are the 2 best plays by the AIC defense in the second half. Like, just back-to-back, good penetration. Time. And they do.
They do. Took the words right out of my mouth.
That is fantastic defense by the Yellow Jackets. That is the defensive line doing its job. A+ on that drive. Bentley goes 3 and out. They gain 2 yards the whole way. Now the offense needs to have an answer.
You're still at that time in a point in the game where the time is, you're concerned about it, but it's not the main factor yet.
AIC was no man's land, found that hole in the defense, and the Yellow Jackets a chance to grab the momentum away from the Falcons in a big way. And again, it's credit to the defense for getting the 3 and out and changing the tone of the game. And now the offense takes advantage.
First and goal, Yellow Jackets.
Can they finish it? Bentley, I think, is going to take a timeout here. I've seen in the booth to our right with our coaches in a little while, and it's obviously a big move for AIC. That pass play, 54 yards. Matt Severance saves the touchdown, but Jaheim McGuire with the play that gets Bentley has left a man open in a while, but that's also the first time Jason DeMille hasn't been running for his life.
Right.
In quite some time. So the Yellow Jackets, again, now can they finish this? You've got options with it being first and goal on the 4.
Definitely.
And you got DeMille in the backfield with the running back Davila. Either of them could run it in. You've got some receivers on either side that could potentially get open for a pass. Moves. Bentley should have had a sack. They didn't. And the QB punishes them for it, and that is a very difficult pass to make, not only given the momentum of your body pulling you downward to float it over the defense where only your man can get it, but make it catchable at the back of the end zone without overthrowing it. That is an short, manageable, the way your run offense has been able to work. One receiver on the left side, covered by a cornerback.
Larkins breaks free. Larkins, watch out! He's going to get brought down at the 30-yard line.
And that's a horse collar
I thought
tackle,
so,
too.
too.
And the flag comes out. They dragged him down by the scruff of the collar, and you can't do that. He broke through every layer of the defense. They had to do it to stop him from scoring. But it's going to be a 15-yard penalty at the end of the run that was already a 40-yard run. It's going to put Bentley on the
end zone. Incomplete. Jackson.
Well defended by Jackson that time. That's Keith, by the way. Gets his hand in the way, doesn't put a hand on the offensive player, so no interference. Very well done. If you're Bentley, though, I like that play call. I like taking the first shot right at the end zone. You've got a one-on-one with a cornerback against a receiver. But that time, Jackson just made the play. Crowd trying to get the defense pumped up.
Sturm keeps it, and he gets wrapped up.
Oh, great read by the Yellow Jackets. They didn't fall for the fake handoff, and they got the penetration through the offensive line. 4 men in the backfield for the Yellow Jackets there, and Sturm gets stuffed. 3rd down and a bunch. They've got to get to the 8-yard line. It's 3rd and about 11 and a half, which would make it a 2-possession game. If he hits, it would make it 31-21.
Sideline asking for noise.
They're getting it. To quote the Joker, and here we go.
The block is on. They don't get it. And the kick is no good!
Wide left. It went wide left.
Assist to the crowd on that one.
Absolutely, and great work by the special teams unit. They put the pressure on. And Mason Campbell comes up short as he shanks it to the left. And the Yellow Jackets have an opportunity. And, obviously, Bentley's going to have at least one more possession here. I can't imagine AIC having a 7-minute long drive.
That's not who they are.
It's not really how the offense operates for the Yellow Jackets.
If this were a team like Wisconsin or Army, I could see it, but AIC likes to score quickly, and I don't blame them.
No, strike while the iron. Just making it happen again. Jason DeMille beats a defender who got through. Credit Bentley with getting good through the offensive line of the Yellow Jackets, with Jason DeMille is just a little bit better, and he finds the open man.
And that was Jackson Ramsey again. Check out his stat line if you get a chance.
Ramsey that'll be his 5th catch. That was a gain of about 9, so that's going to give him 68 yards on the day. Takes over for Jaheim McGuire, who of course had the 54-yard catch to make up the bulk of his receiving yards.
Davila working the right side. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Gain of 8, and again, Davila just keeping the feet moving, pulling defenders with him, getting some blocks. The Yellow Jackets offense looking very smooth right now. And they've made those adjustments.
Looks like it is holding.
That hurts very, very badly. Cost the Yellow Jackets 10 yards. And, of course, the first down.
That's another thing on the list of things that they didn't need.
So it's now 2nd down and 11. Got to still get back to the 46-yard line.
Interesting formation here. Ooh.
Field against Pace, they scored a touchdown in 18 seconds.
Ooh.
They had the big plays to score the touchdown here in the 4th quarter to make it 28-21, but Bentley's not a team that's going to give up a lot of those. And they've played very well, especially in their prevent defenses. And what those have worked out for is this. The 7 defenders back have kept AIC's receivers sealed off until the D-line can get to the quarterback, and the D-line has done a good job of getting through very quickly.
Yep.
So if a quarterback has 5 or 6 seconds, he's going to find somebody at this level. He's had 2 or 3 seconds on those plays, and it just hasn't worked. New Haven, the Chargers leading the Owls 10-6.
And people are starting to leave. I think they have a feeling this game might be over.
Yeah, it's unfortunately but true that the situation just got a lot more dire for the Yellow Jackets. 5 minutes to go, and AIC needs 2 touchdowns now, and that's a really tough result for the Yellow Jackets there. And credit the Falcons for not breaking after giving up that first touchdown. AIC had all the momentum, especially after the missed field goal. And the defense just answered the bell.
Basically.
You know, sometimes you could talk about the things that AIC hasn't done well in the third, in the last 3 quarters. But Yellow Jackets, they increase quite a bit if they can score quickly.
Very much.
Bentley with 1 man back deep as AIC goes way offside. Tommy Smith jumped.
AIC's kind of falling apart.
Yeah, another kind of careless mistake. Of course, the last time they took a penalty, they then made some big plays right after it. So
you think Lightning can strike? DeMiles running for his life again. He has a potential lane. He has to tuck and run. He's past the line of scrimmage, and he's gonna get a decent amount.
Gained a couple, but that's not gonna cut it at this point in the game. Yellow Jackets need more than 2 yards on a play, and especially when you're talking about 15 yards to get the first down. It's 2nd and 13.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more on. I thought it was a little bit more just because of the distance you run, so that's my mistake. But
and again, it's what I was saying about the 7 men on the defense between the safeties and the linebackers, just sealing off the options and allowing. Frankly, if it gets to the point that the running back there is making a block, you've already taken too long.
Probably.
So why not give yourself that extra option? And you talked about Davila being out as a wide receiver. Here he is, set up in the slot on the right.
Well, similar to in basketball, when someone has the ball and they say, hey, shooter, shooter. In this case, it's, hey, playmaker out wide. Watch out, watch out.
A lot of playmakers on either side. It'll be 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Jason DeMiles going to spread the field out.
And this is for the game, most likely.
Everything or nothing here for the Yellow Jackets. A first down, and you're still at it. If not, the Falcons will win.
DeMiles. Under pressure. That's the ball game.
Well, maybe not. Yep. Picked off. And head back to Waltham at 4-0. And they deserve it. They were the better team today. The Yellow Jackets did a lot of good things. The Falcons just did a couple more.
Basically.
But, hey.
Heck of a game.
Yeah, this is one of the most entertaining football games I've seen in a long time here at Abdow Field. And regardless of the result.
Yep, the crowd's going to spill out here. As
the shaking of hands continues after the kneel down. Regardless of the result, I mean, this is a very, very good Bentley. It is what it is. Again, the Falcons certainly deserving it. And Nate Larkins is your player of the game. 2 touchdowns, 131 yards on the ground. Sturm as well. I mean, only 76 yards in the air, but 103 on the ground. Phenomenal work by the Bentley Falcons and their defense. Really not just one guy, as nobody with McCoubry had the 8 tackles and the pick 6, which ended up being the difference.